Well, welcome to the dark, gloves and a partly dismantled diesel heater. It is currently winter and of course the sun goes down early in Australia, or at least this part of Australia in winter. I went to run my diesel heater and the exhaust has broken off. And the hose clamp's still on and the wrapping's still on. I've got a long night ahead of me. So I'm going to try and get this off and see if we've got some spare bits. Alright, we've got some light in here. And in here is my hose clamp that's just at the wrong angle. And there's a stopper in the way. I almost have to disassemble this whole thing to get to the hose clamp. Alright, let's see if I can hold a phone and manipulate a hose clamp at the same time. Oh, I think I got it loose. Hose clamp, can you come off? Alright, I think I can manipulate this off with a screwdriver. Give me a few minutes. Alright, we've got the exhaust wrapping and the hose clamp off. So we've got this pipe stub left. And you can see the piece of wood, even with the hose wrapping, has eventually burnt out here. So this configuration of exhaust is actually pretty difficult to manage. If it was me, I'd be facing it sort of sideways out, which I may do. It depends what happens, but probably not tonight. Alright, I've detached the tank. There's still a bit of hose, a bit of length here that I can use. Tip the whole thing sideways, and this stub has been on here for a while. I actually think it's been leaking for a while because this little like divot here actually corresponds to probably that exhaust leaking, and I probably haven't noticed because of the exhaust wrapping. So this bit is stuck on really good. With luck I might be able to cut it off. Okay, so this pipe is thin enough that I can get the pliers in here, and if I twist I can start to peel it open. So we do this right, it should just tear like that. And if I keep going I should be able to just peel it off like a wrapper around the top there. Alright. I got it. Had to hold the torch in my mouth. It's a difficult one to film, this one. Now I've got to put the intake back on as well. This is going to need a sand off. Alright, and we have a spare piece attached. Not very well, and I decided screw sanding it because it's just too difficult to get to in there. I think in the morning I might remove this wooden base. Put something a little more substantial on that rises it up a little bit more. We might whack some of that wrapping under there for tonight. And at least we'll have heat for now. Alright, so I've stopped inside for a minute, and this is the rotating vent thing that we have. They keep falling off all the time. So the problem is we have to put the pipe on without somebody holding it from the other side. It's really hard to get the force to slip this back on. So I'm going to drill a couple of holes through so I can shove a screwdriver through. Might not quite be big enough, but so here we go. I don't know really where concentric is, but we'll work on it. So about there is what I need. Let's see if I put in righty-tighty mode. Will be about right. Okay. Alright. It has 2 holes. Now this whole ordeal just illustrates why I don't like working on vehicles, or why I do rather, because I don't like doing this kind of stuff in the middle of the night in the dark. Okay. That one's on nice and tight. Oh, that is way easy with that hole in there. We can hook the bottom pipe up. And this is just an extra shielding pipe because the plastic coupler I have in here softens and deforms and they fall apart. No amount of hose clamps or tape or anything will hold them together, but second bit of pipe over here. This is all very jerry-rigged, this stuff. Now that hose clamp needs to tighten up a smidge. Now if I go this way, I can tighten the hose clamp up properly in situ. It's definitely a gloves night out here. It's about 4 degrees Celsius or something. So hose clamps up fairly tight, but owing to experience, a little bit tighter wouldn't hurt. There we go. I think we're done. Let's fire it up and see if it works still. Alright, so we have an Anderson plug there, and we have a battery charger plug here. We have a muffler for it. Don't think I'm worried about that just yet. Battery's on charge, awesome. Intake's on, exhaust's on, outlet's on. Hopefully everything works. Lugs are up. Alright, let's give it a crack. Alright, let's see inside if we can fire this up. Alright, so the fan's still turning on. Right, I can see that the fuel pump started. It's just pumping some diesel through it now. Alright, got a bit of a different sound without the muffler on it. Doesn't matter for now. I have, if we turn our light on, a bit of this stuff hidden under the exhaust here for the moment. It is under there. Whoop. It is under there just enough. There's also a metal plate under this, so we'll see how we go. But it looks like it's working, and yeah, there's a lot more coming out of that than there used to be. Never used to be quite that good, so I think it's probably been leaking for a while. So, see how we go. Hopefully we get some warm air. Alright, we've got a good amount of hot air coming through. Drop that down to 2. That's very efficient on fuel at setting number 2. Oh, that went down to 1. I pushed on the case too hard. Alright, that should just tick away nicely. It should run tonight okay. I will look at it more in the morning. But yeah, that's diesel heater fixed, I hope. Anyway, we'll see you in another video.